Waiting for some people.
I think. There we are.
Give me a break.
Nope.
I gotta find enter.
No problem. We gotta wait for people to show up anyways.
What the hell? What is it doing to me now?
Okay, we're waiting.
We're waiting 1 minute. Technical difficulties. Just hold up.
Yeah.
First off, we got to say that there's a lot of people down here. We've got a lot of people today. We have a group of 4 from Idaho. We have new locals. There's a lot of people down here today. But
I'm not ready.
I know. I'm going to do that a couple times. I'm just giving time.
Okay. I'm not even going to write anything on it. I'll just... Okay, fly.
Okay. So, once again, we want to thank, we have a lot of people today. A lot of people down here. The courtroom is almost full on the inside. That's really exciting. We've got a couple groups from pretty far away. We have some from Idaho and some from...
Montana.
No, they're from like Missouri? No, Minnesota. We have a group from Minnesota and some from Idaho. I'm sorry that I said Missouri, Ted. I'm sorry. Okay, so last Thursday we ended the day. After the jury left, we had some arguing over Dan Love and whether he will be able to testify. Now, the prosecution isn't going to call him, and the judge said that the defense was going to have to come up with a good reason for them to call him, that basically they couldn't just call a witness to perjure him. And I know that the prosecution had come to the defense the night before and said, whatever video, whatever it is that you want in, we'll let it in, no questions asked, you know, that you were going to bring in with Dan Love. Just don't call him to the stand. And then the very next day in court, they have to come up with reasons to bring him in. So the defense will have to work on that. I don't know when we will know the answer. So we started today out. It was a late day. We were supposed to start at 10:30, but we probably didn't start till almost 11. Big news, Myrie was not in the courtroom, but may join us later. So Myrie is not in the courtroom today, and I think that that'll definitely be something. We had Major Jackson on the stand. He was a Nevada Highway Patrol officer. We were in the middle of cross-examining him. It was brought up a couple times about the fact that they were communicating with the crowd as a way to keep the stress levels down. At one point, he was asked by Marchese, you started that you were trying to find water and that his men didn't bring water and they weren't prepared. He was asked if the protesters had given him water, and it was yes. And then it was brought up that the entire environment had caused the fear, not necessarily just one element of the environment. Todd Engel went up and was asked about the trucks. So he mentioned in his direct examination that there were 4 trucks that pulled out of the desert with men in the back of them, and he felt much fear. And this was after everything was done. These men came out from the east, got on the northbound, and went north. And he was asked if he'd ever seen any pictures or videos of these truck and these men. The answer was no, because there's a lot of video. And there was no arrest of these men. He was also brought up that no one arrested the men carrying weapons on the bridge, and he was asked why, if he felt so threatened by these men, they were not arrested. And the officer in court said they have a right to carry firearms. So that was exciting. And then he stated that he needed hundreds of officers to help this in peacefully. And the guy said, well, yeah, if by force, we would have needed 500 more officers. And then he was asked if the event ended peacefully, and he said it did. That no rocks or frozen bottles were thrown at them, no tear gas was used or riot shields, no patrol cars burned, and this is all Ingles, so he did a great job today. Then they called Sergeant Shannon Serena. He is another highway patrol officer. He arrived. They bring up trucks as he's driving down. They're playing his dash cam. They bring up trucks as they're going by, some with the tailgate down and the window up, and people sitting back there. They're bringing up all of these things. We're still watching his videos. In one of his videos, you see a bunch of people, like it's just the truck sitting there, and then a bunch of people start running and going over. There's people that run and jump over the barrier and go down, and that's pretty much all we're watching. Then they bring out another person's dash cam, and in this dash cam you can see the officer, and in that he says that there's an armed guy that looks at him and comes towards him, and that was threatening, and the person starts talking to him and points down in the wash. Then he states that the guy told him there was a green truck, and it got confusing in the courtroom. It sounded like a green truck of protesters pointing weapons at officers, but then they are trying to point out that it's Todd Ingle. And his statement was the green truck is the green truck of the Forest Service and the people that are glassing the protesters. So I'm sure that will come up in cross-examination, but we're still in direct examination of this individual. And we're going back up. It was a short morning before lunch, so we'll have a lot more later. Once again, amazing. We have people from Minnesota, people from Idaho. There is a lot of people down here today. A lot of those people came and actually went upstairs, so that was really nice to see, like all 3 rows almost full. It's the first time it's ever happened up here, so thank everybody from traveling. Like some of these people traveled hours. I know a lot of the Bundy family traveled 2 hours one way to get here, and they do it once a week, almost daily sometimes. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
We're back this afternoon.